What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, we are at a secret Carvana facility here on the south side of Oklahoma City that most of you probably don't know about. Wow, that suspension is sagging. Good Lord. And I didn't know about it either until I found this 1996 Chevy Camaro Z28 on bags. Looks like it's got amps and subs in the trunk. Red light, meaning as is, don't know if it runs, don't know if it drives, any of that. I was the only bidder. Starting bid was $3,650. I said, what the hell, man? How can you go wrong with an old school Z28 with an LT1 and a manual transmission riding on airbags? Well, we're gonna find out. I'm gonna spoil it for you and tell you that it does run and it does drive because I was able to get it up on this trailer. A towing company came out yesterday. I actually bought this 2 weeks ago. It took 2 weeks for Ready Logistics to get out here. When they got here, they said that they could not get this car on their truck. They got it partway on and it got stuck. It spent 2 hours stuck on their truck yesterday. So I had to come out here today and pick it up myself. We've got the old trailer. It's been a long time since we've come out and thrown something on the trailer and hauled it, but we've got the Escalade out here, which is sagging pretty good. We've got the trailer and we've got our new car. So the goal is, let's get this thing down to AAR headquarters where we can take a little bit closer look at it. And well, as you can see, the airbags in the back certainly work. Unfortunately, it looks like the ones in the front have seen better days. The tires also completely dry rotted and cracked to pieces. The wheels look absolutely hideous on this. And just so you can see that I'm not messing with you, this is legit Carvana. And in case you didn't see, there are Carvana trucks. I think they call these Stingers everywhere out here. So this is one of the main lots where Carvana brings all of their trade-ins, all of the cars they have for sale, before they get thrown on one of these trucks and delivered to your door. I would love to go out here and do a walk around, but honestly, I don't know if they even want me recording out here. So we're not gonna get ourselves in any trouble. I don't wanna burn a bridge because this, in my opinion, for 3,600 bucks, if this thing turns out to actually be a decent car, this could be a great location to start buying more content for the channel. Clean titles, not salvaged, and aside from what looks like a potential airbag leak or maybe an airline leak preventing the front end from coming up off the ground, this thing could be a great deal for $3,650. And the best part, the fees are actually reasonable. It's only like 150 bucks in fees, and since I came and picked it up myself, there's no shipping. So what you see is what you get. Let's get this thing down to AAR headquarters, guys. We can take a closer look at it there. Well, unfortunately, we had an accident on the way here. It's one of those things, man. I'll show you the other side. It is not bad. Considering how bad the other car was, I'm really surprised. This thing's a tank, even with its plastic bumpers. As you can see, I've got the Camaro behind me in the trailer. Trailer probably weighs a couple thousand pounds. I assume the Camaro weighs somewhere around 3,000 pounds. You know, we're pushing, 5,000, somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 pounds behind us. And the Escalade does not have a provision currently set up for trailer brakes. So the brakes on this truck are all I've got to slow this thing down. We're in a construction zone on I-35. And this little Ford something or other, tiny SUV, not a big one, just a tiny SUV, is trying to push over. I've got traffic in front of me because it's a construction zone. There's a semi next to me over here, so I can't merge this way to get out of the way. And I can't go faster because I've got a car in front of me. This little SUV comes over and cuts in front of me. I'm blaring. I'm blaring on the horn because I know I can't stop. I know I can't stop. I'm blaring the horn. The car doesn't listen. He collides right with me. And let me tell you what I did. Some of you are going to disagree with this, but I did this for my own safety. Screw the guy that was trying to be an asshole and cut into traffic. As he came this way and I felt contact and I heard the crunch, I turned the wheel and I pushed into him. Instead of allowing him to push me over where there was a semi over here or risk possibly losing control of my car, as we made contact, I turned my wheel in his direction. I mean, I just shoved right into him. And let me tell you, I'm surprised that this is the only damage that we have on the Escalade. We've got a bunch of transfer and scrape, but if you look, it looks like a lot of this this just comes off. Well, that's below the paint. Some of this is below the paint, so there's going to be some permanent scuffs here. That's a shame. And there's a slight bend. Can you see that right there? There's a slight bend in the bumper now. And well, aside from that, I think that's it. It looks like maybe we kind of got into him with the tire, maybe not. Either way, that's all the damage. It's nothing major, but it's all the way up here. I mean, when I tell you I got into him, man. It's here all the way over. Minor damage, and it's an old truck, okay? It's an old truck. A few extra scrapes and a slight ding in the bumper, I don't think is going to really affect the resale value of this truck anyway, so not overly concerned with it. I was really pissed off. Like, I was heated. I was heated because I just spent 20 grand on a new 2021, new to me, 2021 Chevy Suburban that should be here in about a week. And I planned on, when the new Suburban gets here, selling this. So of course I crash into him. I didn't know what the damage was yet, so I was pissed. So, you know, I opened the door, we pull over, I open the door on the side of the highway, and out hops this guy. He was at least 80 years old with a hat. It said United States Navy veteran. And I was like, oh, dude. And I told him, I said, man, I said, there was nothing I could do. I said, you pulled out right in front of me. I had a semi next to me and I'm carrying 5,000 or 6,000 pounds behind me. I said, I couldn't avoid it. And he looked at it, he looked at the damage on this and he said, I don't think there's any damage to yours. You just want to call it a day? And I showed him all the scrapes and the bent, the bumper was popped out, the clips, it had popped out. I showed him, I said, no, there's definitely damage, guy. Like, there's definitely damage. And then he goes to his car. I hit him because he swore he came into me. I hit him on this whole corner of his SUV and he had all kinds of mangled damage. He was looking at this side of his SUV. He looks back here and he does this. He's like, well, I don't think I got any damage. And I was like, I don't think this guy should be driving. I don't think this guy should be driving. And I said, sir, the damage is on the other side. And he goes, oh. And he walks over, he's like, oh, well. He said, I guess it was my fault. He said, you just want to each of us pay for our own damage and call it a day? And listen, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, no. No, I don't want to have to pay for my damage, because it wasn't my fault. I shouldn't be responsible for being left with a scuffed up or potentially broken, broken bumper on a vehicle because you didn't merge correctly. You know, when you're merging onto a highway, contrary to popular belief, people don't have to let you on. And this was not a case of me just being an asshole. But if I wanted to be, I don't have to let you merge if I don't want to. There's nothing illegal about it. It is your responsibility as the person merging onto the interstate to wait for traffic to clear or hit the gas and get in front of everybody. That is your job. If you can't get on, then you need to slow down or come to a stop until you can. But that wasn't the case here. So I'm just like, this guy is old enough to know better. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, you have to know that you caused the accident, and I'm not responsible for fixing my own car. But there is a but here. I felt bad for the guy. He is an older guy, and I thought, okay, I'll let it slide. Maybe he learned a lesson. You know, I'm going to let it slide. I said, you know what? It's an old truck. It's my work truck. It's fine. And we shook hands, and he said, I don't think I'm going to be able to get back on here because of the traffic. And I said, hold on. I said, I'm big. Let me get out in front, and I will make sure the traffic is blocked and you can pull out in front of me to get back on the highway. He said, all right. By the time I got back into my truck, this dude, I'm serious, man, he floored it and he was gone. I never even got the opportunity to help him. Look, there's an Escalade right there doing the work. See, Escalades don't mind working, man. Anyway, short story, crazy incident. That was wild. That was absolutely wild. So we've got the car here, and I've got all the straps off, and I found that the battery, somebody's got some aftermarket terminals, and they've got all the amps and everything wired in here. So they had these terminals that didn't fit. They were all loose. All of the cables were loose on the battery. So I had to go into the shop, and I grabbed some washers, and we got those snugged up now. The battery is dead. It's got 10 volts in it, so it wouldn't start. But this is a 2025 battery. So she should fire up, and I think that battery will probably take a charge. She'll be good to go. Let's see if we can't get this thing off the trailer. I'm gonna have to sit you guys down because, well, manual transmission and low to the ground car here. Let's see if we can get this thing off the trailer without messing up the front end. Oh yeah. Boy, that compressor is noisy. I think we got air conditioning in here. All right, well, let's see what happens here. Oh, this is a 6-speed. I thought this was a 5-speed. Here we go. Down we go. We're gonna scrape, scrape, don't scrape. We made it. I'll be damned. I think we have cold air conditioning in here. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, the front end, the front end, the front end. Oh, that doesn't sound good. So I've let the old girl sit here and idle for quite a while, and there were some errors in the menu system for the bags for the air suspension. So it said it needed to be recalibrated, and I was like, oh great, maybe that'll fix the problem. So I told it to go ahead and calibrate. Well, part of the calibration process is letting all the air out of all the airbags. Now we have an error for the left front pressure sensor, and now because it recognizes some catastrophic error where it's not getting a pressure reading from the front left, it will not air up any of the bags anymore. So I'm hopeful that we can pop the hood, disconnect the battery, and maybe this thing will revert back to that mode where we were able to at least get it off the ground, because now it is slammed to the point that I'm not sure we can even move this. It says error number 2106, PSI sensor error, left front. If I click accept, it just kind of restarts, and as you can see, I can't, these are the selections for airing up, and it won't let me anymore. Let's see if it'll start once we shut it down. Let's take a look at the gauges real quick. Oil pressure is good, temp is good, fuel's good, battery's good. Here we go. Fired right up. Short throw shifter, 6-speed manual, and she's got a pretty nice little setup in here, guys. And I thought this was interesting. I found some receipts. It said for a 96 Camaro Z28, the odometer was at 116,677 miles. Odometer is currently at 197,559. So that was some time ago. Less than 100 miles though. Misfire and lifter noise. Oh boy, it looks like they did a rebuild. Spark plug wire set, spark plugs, oil, cam, timing cover set, head bolt set, antifreeze, water pump drive, clutch kit, timing set, rear main seal, oil pan gasket, oil pressure sending unit, Napa machining, oil filter. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oil pump, temperature sensor, balancer, oil screen, PCV hose, thermostat, bypass hose. That came out to $1,812. And then there was labor, steering repair, plus engine R&R. This came out to, oh wow, subtotal $2,950. It says engine remove and replace and overhaul. They spent $3,000 on this back in 2008. So this engine is a fresh build with a hotter cam. Obviously, still got the 6-speed manual transmission, and it's got less than 100,000 miles on the engine build. And a nice sounding exhaust. She sounds nasty. She sounds nasty. Unfortunately, if I can't lift any of this car off the ground, I don't know how we're even gonna move it at this point. I really don't. Let's pop the hood. And while we're at it, can we pop the trunk? Where's the trunk release in the glove box? Let me show you guys what she's working with. back here. The stance on this thing is sick when it's slammed. I'm serious. The color is wrong. Obviously, we're gonna have to get this into the shop. We need to get it on the lift so I can take a look at the front end, try to figure out what's going on. If it's something as simple as a sensor that goes into one of these bags, that's doable, man. That's absolutely doable. And if this thing actually runs out and drives, I'd like to find a factory set of Camaro wheels. I want the original OEM set so it looks stock when it's riding normal. And then I want to be able to drop it and slam it just like this. But the color is wrong. Silver is the wrong color for this, guys. It's got to be red. In fact, not just any red. It's got to be the same red as the Corvette that we have in the garage. That's what it's got to be. And then these things can sit right next to each other, side by side. This didn't pop. Great. Pop, I say. There we go. Let's see what we got back here. I can't tell you what all this is because I'm not an audiophile, okay? But what I see is a Kicker SX 400.2, so a 2-channel 400 watt amp. Over here, we've got a Kicker SX 600.2, so that's gonna be a 600 watt 2-channel amp. Then we got these little things right here with capacitors in them. I have no idea what that is. None at all. If anybody knows what this thing is, drop a comment below and tell me because I would love to know. Then of course we got our air tank. We got what I presume to be a pressure sensor on the tank. This lifts up a little bit. I don't know what's under here. We're probably not gonna lift that up because it's pretty damn heavy. That's all that's back here. And of course T-top car, which is nice. So you can pop the tops off if you want. And they got a nice little holder for them in the back. This is, I don't know. I'll let you guys comment below. For 3,600 bucks, I think this was a steal of a deal. Some of you are going to disagree, but I think there's some of you out there who are going to agree with me. We got a K&N cold air intake. She runs out nice, guys. I don't know how it drives. All I've been able to do is back it up, but she runs nice. She sounds good. Cooling fans running, temperature's nice. This is not a bad car at all. We just got to get it up off the ground. And if I send it in for paint to get it painted red, I want this black. From the factory, all of this and inside these headlight recesses, that all would have been black. And I want that back black again because I think it looks so good that way, guys. Let me shut the car down. Let me go grab a wrench. Let's disconnect the battery and let's cross our fingers that maybe we can at least get the back end up in the air, because at least then I can drive somewhat into the shop. With this whole car sitting on the ground like this, I can't even move this. The frame is literally like this far from touching the ground. But before we go into all that, I got to show you guys my latest batch of purchases, and there's still one missing. I told you guys I bought a 2021 Chevrolet Suburban LT with the max tow package. It's loaded out pretty nice, guys. It should be here within about a week. But also I went on a little buying spree, and we're going to talk about what's going on with the state of Oklahoma. We're going to talk about an investigation that was done, and I'm going to name the names of the people involved with getting me turned in and causing all of this drama. Okay, so stay tuned for that. We got a 2006 Mazda Miata manual transmission, donated, 62,000 miles, clean title. We've got a pedal 2006 Hyundai Accent hatchback 2-door automatic. It's got around 100,000 miles. And this is a pedal car, so not an insurance car, clean title. Over here, we've got another pedal car. This is a 2005 BMW 545. This thing's actually pretty sweet, guys. Clean title as well from pedal, 122,000 miles. Over here, we've got like an 05 or an 06 Ford Mustang automatic, another pedal car. I don't know, I bought a lot of cars sight unseen, guys. I decided if we're gonna go out, I'm gonna go out swinging. You know, I'm going to go down fighting. I'm not just going to lay down and walk away. I decided we're going to buy a bunch of cars. We're going to make some content for you guys. Whatever happens, happens, but we're going to make content. I don't know anything else about this car other than it is a clean title, and I don't even know the miles on it. I have no idea. I think it's 100. Actually, no. That's not this car, that's this car. This car, another clean title. This is a donation, Car Donation Foundation, 2009 Cadillac DTS, 155-ish thousand miles on the odometer. All these cars I got super cheap, guys, all of them. And then I think my favorite one is this one right here. This just got delivered literally minutes ago. This is a 2007 BMW 650i, not the same as the 545. The 545 has a 4.4 liter. This has a 4.8 liter V8. This thing is an absolute beast, guys. I'm really excited about this because I got this for nothing. Also, clean title. Look at this interior, though. Would you look at that color? I'm absolutely in love. We'll come back and do videos on all of these cars here in the very near future, along with doing some videos on the C4 Corvette that we're trying to save. So stay tuned. Now let me go get a wrench and let's see if we can't get these airbags to at least somewhat work again. Well, I don't know if it'll do any good or not, but I disconnected the battery, let it sit for about 30 seconds and hook the battery back up. Maybe we'll get lucky. Something tells me we won't. It seems to know that there's a problem and it's not going to let us do anything about it. Nope. That's unfortunate. Not even a check engine light on. The tank pressure is at 142 PSI. What's crazy is you would think that it would let you manually, but it won't. It sure won't. So this is going to be interesting trying to get it on the lift. I don't think that's going to happen. We got some kind of a kicker control box here. I can't seem to figure out how to make it work or do anything. No. This does nothing. So I don't know. We got lots of stuff to try to figure out, guys. It's an interesting car, though. Give me a few minutes. Let me see if I can work some magic on this old girl. Let's see what else we got in here. Not much. Oh, we got a remote control and some money. That's nice. Well, I decided to pull up this Ride Tech suspension, try to figure out what this is all about, how much it's worth. Looks like this suspension for a 93 to 2002 Camaro and Firebird is $4,240. So we got a hell of a suspension kit on our hands here, guys. This is no joke. This is... Someone spent a lot of money. What's interesting is the phone number associated with this company is an 812 area code, which is the same area code for Terre Haute, Indiana. What's the, I don't know, I'm hot. What's the chances of that, right? Small world, man. So I'm gonna roll up these windows. And yes, they both work. Nice dark tinted windows. Air conditioning, I'm not sure. It seemed like it was working and then it got hot on me. So maybe it works some, maybe not. We're gonna shut this thing down. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do. Why is everything off, but this is still on? And the radio's still on too. Does this not turn off? Oh, that'll kill the battery. Great. Oh, there you go. When you open the door, power gets shut off for the radio and for that as well. So that's good news. Okay, well, as I said, there is not much more I'm going to be able to do in this video. I was hoping we might be able to get this sorted out quickly and easily, get this thing on the road, take it for the 10-mile drive. But as you can see, you're not driving anywhere like this. I don't even know if I can get on the lift. I really don't think I'm going to be able to get this on the lift. I was told by the people at Carvana that the tow driver, whoever it was that showed up to pick this car up, got this stuck on his truck. So I don't know if there's any damage down there. Here's what I do know. I know the air suspension works at least on the back because I was able to jack the back end up and I didn't have to do anything other than when I first got in the car, I pushed the up button for each back wheel and it both came up. So I know the air suspension is at least somewhat working. I'm wondering if that guy, he obviously didn't know that you could raise the airbags up, or they're not airbags, they're coil over suspension. A totally different setup from airbags, way more reliable, way more expensive as well. Obviously the guy didn't know that. I'm wondering, did he get this thing up on the trailer, on his rollback, whatever it was, and get this thing stuck and maybe damage something out there? I don't know. Could it just be an unplugged sensor or a bad sensor? Could a mouse, maybe the car had been parked for a lot of years. Maybe a mouse got in there and, you know, messed something up. It's hard to say. And there's really no way to find out without getting this front end up in the air. And the code that we're getting right now is for the left front sensor. So we're going to have to figure out where that sensor is, locate it and check the wiring, and, you know, go from there. With that, guys, we're going to close out this video and call this a wrap. I'm glad this battery came back to life. It's a 2025 battery, so not really surprised it came back to life. Guys, listen, this could be a really fun car. Slightly modified, hopped up engine, air suspension, and change the color. I think this car could just be a stunner, man. Seriously. And this is completely different because I don't think there's anybody on YouTube doing videos about Carvana wholesale auctions. And the reason is it's a secret. I found it by accident. All right, I mean, completely by mistake, I came across it. And even if you're looking for it, good luck. You are going to have a difficult time figuring out how to actually get involved and get it done. I'm not going to say any more than that because this is kind of my little honey hole right now. And I'm thinking, since we have one right here in Oklahoma City, and since we're having problems with some of the other auctions that we're going to, we're having some issues, maybe it's not such a bad idea to start trying to buy some more of these, you know, hopefully quick fix and flip type of deals, guys. If I can find more deals like this at Carvana, I'll be buying cars from them all the time. I know you guys are dying to take this thing out on the road, just give it a little rip up and down the street. I really can't. Well, when I tell you that the frame, it's literally like 2 inches. It's maybe 2 inches off of the ground. I'm not joking. As soon as you hit a bump in this thing, it's going to bottom out the exhaust. It's going to hit the frame. It's going to damage things. So we can't be taking this thing for a rip. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to get it on the lift in the shop. If we're not lucky, we're going to have to get a low profile jack out here and do this in the heat. I don't really want to. I'm looking for shade right now. I think there's got to be somewhere that's shady we could do this, because this is horrible. It's so freaking hot out here. But we are going to dig into this. We'll get it figured out. Even if, God, I don't even know if it'll go into the shop. It's not going to clear the ledge. Oh, Lord. Yeah, this is going to be fun, guys. If you're as excited as I am about getting into this car and trying to get it up in the air so we can take it for a rip, man, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.